can't put his amp on.
No, not tampon, it's ampon.
Oh.
Well,
He can't function if he don't hear my voice.
lady crying like a bitch, so you might as well put on a tampon.
Pampers.
Like I said, once the skip rolls in the truck, will not hear these Marys on this channel. And let them try to convince you I'm not in control.
Uses amp for DX all fucking day long.
That's right.
And night.
That's right. So, you know, my station's for talking skip. That's it. You got it. You know it. That's the real deal in the field. That's the deal. That's the deal.
All that shit gonna be in the shopping cart. Exactly. All that stuff is gonna be in the sidewalk.
Tick tock. I'm running out.
That's right, Bird. Tom is running out. Tick tock, cracky. It's already August, cracky.
Time keeps on slipping to Richie's homeless.
And we've been hearing the same story every day since, what was it, May 1st. From May to now, we've been hearing the same cry story every day. But in May, it got sold 3 weeks earlier. All right, let me get back quiet there while he's catching me a lullaby. The only reason why I keyed up is because, you know, I got up to pee, dude, you know what I'm saying? Smoking all this weed, man. Make you drink a lot of water and coffee, man. Yo, worldwide, while I got that manhood stacked up on top of the station, they want to know why I'm not. I know some of them can't function without hearing my voice, man. They need my voice to masturbate. I'm the king in control.
Only the little guys say they gotta pee. What did Debbie call him? A baby elephant? An elephant trunk? A baby elephant trunk. Little dirty fingers. He couldn't even satisfy her. He couldn't even satisfy a woman. That's the typical woman hate.
Hey, I want to see Enforcer take a go-go dancer off the stage and keep her off the stage in his bed in his shop for 5 years without satisfying all the holes and pockets.
To support her 3 sons by prostituting, that ate him up, man. You know? So he looks at cops like all of them like being their daddy, you know? When they were over there in Chesterborough, when they were all tearing up his mom, you know, so she could make ends meet, he looked at every uniform as Richie's daddy, you know? So now he, being that he has a, you know, his mindset is all fucking wide wrong, he looks at himself as a cop, you know? That's what the cop image came from. And they would tell him when Richie was hiding in the closet, his mother would go, "Stay in there, Richie." Okay. And, you know, they would have their way, finish up.
You know, I know a lot of people that heard this man break down in hysterical tears a little over 3 years ago. Just go, "Somebody please help me, give me some information. Nobody knows anything about this guy." You know, all the stories he makes up is amazing to me, you know. Living on my video gauge, using details that I provide. He should have been an author of some kind, man. He probably could have made something of himself. Sucks to be them. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm the fast talking, slow walking, needle dancing, skip shooting, audio slinging, big badge wielding, second son of the big gun, and I don't care what they say.
That's why he claims he has 4 badges. You get it? Over time, he achieved 4 plastic badges from 4 different cops. So he saved them till that day. He saved those 4 badges. Now he thinks he's official. Damn it, Richie, you are screwed up, but I figured it out on that. It took a while, but I figured it out. Or the other one where he said his mother was the hitman while he turned tricks. Oh, I remember that, man. That was funny. His mother was a hit woman.
Yeah, don't you hear the audio clips to this?
She used to turn him out. So she was basically a pimp. That's it again, Squiggy.
Good night, sweetheart.
ain't got no comeback for that one.
And she knew out of the 3 sons that Richie, you know, had the female tendencies because he used to fuck with a Barbie doll, you know. He would always play with girl toys. Well, his other 2 brothers, like G.I. Joes and, man, you know, shit that boys play with, Richie always wanted the feminine shit. He always wanted to wear a dress, put on makeup, his mother's makeup. So she knew what she was dealing with. She had a little fag boy there. So that's why she stopped prostituting him out, man. She was pimping him.
Oh, got you again, Squeaky, damn.
And she found out at a young age that he was attracted to black men because one of those Chesterfield police officers was black, African American, and he was impressed by the size of the guy when he was jamming his mom. So from that point on, he fell in love with black men. That sounds like Richie's voice. Not one man, but a couple of black men.
Oh, he said, I heard him earlier. He got very uncomfortable when he was talking to his good buddy. Hey, what's the matter there, Squeaky? That looks like Cracky's gonna have to wait another day. Hey, Cracky gets real uncomfortable out here when we enjoying the summer. We not letting you, Cracky. And you be on the radio every day, non-stop, man. You have no life. For somebody talking about you got 100 radios to fix, all these fucking, you talking, yo, 24, running your fucking mouth, man. You had no life, Cracky. You don't get no pussy, none of that, man.
I get uncomfortable because I don't hear them on the radio. These Lower East Side, East Village homo boys are funny. Especially Mr. Voice Changer Cupcake over there.
Wake up looking at the floor at dirt like you in a fucking a park or a fucking a junkyard and shit.
Well, pretty soon he's gonna be waking up to the back of McDonald's sidewalk.
Then this dumb motherfucker, disobedient motherfucker, he can't bite the hand because he ain't got no teeth. He's gonna nub the hand that fed him. Big man. And Big Man knows again. He said it, that shit was funny. Pretty soon, your ass gotta go. That shit is mad funny how you say it.
I want to find out who CB21 is. That's who I want to find out. What I want, because...
Wait a minute, all the talking about this thing, and all the talking about the video I deleted, and all the talking about this guy, and what he's... And you don't know? Oh, wow.
Put bodily harm on Richie. So, Richie, his ass is saved by the big man, because the big man said, here, here's the...
Oh, Richie got saved for $20 according to 2511.
So Richie actually got his ass saved, man. So the big man is like his guardian angel, man. He should worship that man. The man got him an apartment at 194. He took him off the street. He helps them out, man, in more ways than one. And Richie, what does he do? He shits on the man.
He's trying so hard to get me to key up, folks. You know, I think it's hilarious. But hey, man, you know, these are guys that make up lies all day long and have to enforce them and try to convince their own brains that they're true along with the public. If they can convince the public, they can convince their own brain.
Yeah, Richie. Cracky, you little piece of shit.
I'll be anything you want.
People got.
I'll be anything you want behind that mic, dude. But on my sidewalk, who's the king, who's the victor? Poor 2-5 blow can't answer that question, though. But hey, sooner or later, the chicken will leave him. Bark, bark, bark.
Poor little Stinky.
Stinky going to sleep now. Yeah, Richie got them all fucked up. You hear that guy? Richie got them guys all fucked up. Hear that guy out there say Richie got them guys all fucked up.
That's the difference, Cracky. I don't gotta wait till everybody get quiet for me to talk. I just come out anytime I fucking feel like it. You gotta wait till the coast is clear to get your manhood back, to find your manhood. You gotta talk shit to find your manhood. Like right now, he talking about he just woke up. Man, you just laid down. You didn't even take a nap. You know you got a problem when this interferes with your rest. You're a real sick control freak. When a radio controls your rest, your sleep, you're sick.
I'm across the room smoking L's.
Remember,
You don't even get 30 minutes, you'll wake up drinking coffee like a dumbass.
remember one time he had said how close he sleeps. He's with arm reach of his radio. He sleeps right next to his radio, man. That's how obsessed he is.
He got no life, no woman, man. He don't get no pussy. Only thing he wake up to is...
That's a damn shame, Richard.
And hearing them mice, hearing rats and mice run around squeaking.
Yo, you want to hear the funniest shit that ever came out of his mouth, man? A couple of times he spit it out, and I just stood by and just listened. You want to hear the dumbest and funniest shit he ever said? He actually says, I'm with his ex, that she's buying me radios. Now, how fucking sick is that? I don't know his ex, or whoever he claims his ex is, from a hole in the wall, and he claims that we're together, and she's buying me radios. He is fucked up in the head, man.
That's the insecurities that run through Cracky mind.
Even CK don't know what to say about that made-up story. Oh, Punky Fireman.
Debbie. 7-9, go out with Debbie's daughter.
We don't know what Debbie's daughter thinks of her, Cracky.
She didn't forget him. I got patience on that too. The documentary will come out with Debbie. When she's comfortable and ready, it will come out. How you locked Debbie's daughter when you went out to get drugs how you locked Debbie's daughter in the bathroom.
That's sick, man. That is abuse right there, man. That is fucking child abuse right there.
How you used to tell Debbie that you cut her on the face with the marijuana.
Yeah, that's typical of a piece of shit. That's typical of a piece of shit that doesn't want a woman with another man. So he'll maim her. He'll cut her face so another guy don't look at her. See, that's typical of a person like Cracky. Because he knows what he got there, or what he had, was gold to him. He knows that. Even though she may have had her situation, and we're not going to elaborate. Hey, listen, everyone can overcome a problem. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, whatever the case may be. Anyone can overcome that. It's not easy, but anyone that has the will, that is there to motivate them, and she's doing well. She's doing very well.
You can't overcome
right
Richie,
now.
though.
No, Cracky. No, she's not with me, Cracky. So you can make up stories that I'm with your ex, or she's buying your radio, so you can make up all stupid shit like that. I don't know her personally. But Cracky, you are. Remember. You are what you make of yourself. Life is what you make it. So in 53 years, what have you done? What accomplishments have you made, Richie? You alienating yourself from your family because you chose drugs over being sober. You don't want to work. You don't want to get a job. You're a lazy piece of shit. You just want to live off the system and be a bum. You just want to be a bum. I remember they used to call Richie out here a government leech, where he just gets his check at the beginning of the month and gets high. You notice, if you notice, the 31st, the first of this month, Richie was acting crazy, man, because he knew it was time to, to get new drugs. To get more drugs. Richie was happy as fuck. Well, Richie sees that check coming, or he knows that EBT card is going to be filled. Damn, is he happy? He's like, yeah, dog, I'm getting a new supply of dope, man. Yeah, Joe Pistone, yeah. Hey, Joey, I'm going to the dope man, Joey. Hey, Joey. You know, he talks to these imaginary voices, you know. This fucking sick guy thinks Joe Pistone is sitting in his, room next to him, and Sade is across the river, listening to all his conversations. That's a demented individual, man. That's someone who needs to be in a padded room.
Man, that video, when he was drunk, his buddies, they get that motherfucking assistant. They told him themselves black. They get that shit too.
Remember when they were talking about when they were going to the program about someone that was stealing cookies or some shit like that? Remember that? When we used to hang out with the fucking crackers over there on 31 back several years ago. Remember how they used to talking about that when they used to go into the program? And it's funny because I remember when Rich used to call Trish a whore. He used to call her a crackhead. He used to call her a whore. Remember that? And then her husband came on the radio and said Richie's straight. That Richie didn't pop that shit anymore. Yeah, but Richie does not like women. He despises women because his mother was a prostitute. So he looks at women as dirty. All right? Because let me tell you, your mother has a big influence on you. And when he see what she had to do for a living, it broke his heart. All right? So in his mind, he tried to portray her as a hit woman. She was a beautician during the day. This is how sick he is. He says that she used to cut hair during the day and whack people at night. She used to work for according to crackhead Richie, she used to work for the mob. This is how demented he is in his little feeble brain. And she used to cut Lou Ferrigno's hair, according to Richie. And Richie used to work in Gold's Gym in Bensonhurst. Work out with Lou Ferrigno. He was a bodybuilder. I'm like, come on, man. For real? Serious? Little 5'0" midget with a Buddha belly. This man couldn't do one sit-up without passing out. Look at him. And he called himself Diesel. He had the nerve to actually say, I seen his image through his radio and it shook me. I'm like, come on, man. You serious? This motherfucker can't walk down the street without huffing and puffing. I remember that time there was two cats fighting on the sidewalk. It wasn't even fighting, it was bullshit. And Richie's like, yeah, CK, yeah. Like he was in the fight, and he was breathing. Yeah, CK. I'm like, holy shit. You would think the guy was in the ring just did 15 rounds, the way Richie was gasping for air. And he was saying that was someone else. Richie, you're a delusional homo, man. You need to check yourself into the program, and then go see, get some psychiatric help, because what Richie needs is medication, man. He's schizophrenic. He thinks people out there to kidnap him, to murder him. He changed his whole route. If you notice, he doesn't go the same way when he goes to the store. He waits to make sure that we're all on the radio. Then he has to shoot out the back, sneak out, and make sure Johnny's not out there waiting for him. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, his whole demeanor has changed. I noticed a little cracky. He's very fearful, man. Very, very fearful, because he made a lot of enemies out here. All right? He didn't just make enemies on 19. He got people from the Super Bowl that want to rip his ass up. All right? CB21, cracky. That $20 saved you.
We got you again, Squeaky Dan.
I notice you, cracky, you don't deny who CB21 is. So you notice with Richie, normally if you would mention something, he goes, well, who is this person? I never heard of it. You notice he doesn't deny it?
Just like you won't argue that he's short and he's ugly. You don't get into all that, you know?
He got the nerve one time to say he's 5'7". That's probably with 7-inch heels. 5'7". Spare me, man. Little motherfucker, you gotta look down on him. I remember when he had his Gigger bike. He had that shit parked in front of McDonald's, thinking it's a Harley Davidson. And 225 was in McDonald's filming him. And Richie's head is barely above the handlebars. I mean, come on, Richie, serious? You're no more than 5'0", man. 5 foot even. You're a little midget. Then he wears these sneakers that are so fucking long on him, so big on him, because, you know, everything's a hand-me-down. That he started looking like the Iron Sheik. The toes are curling up, man. I'm like, damn, man, come on. At least wear something that, where the, you know, the first head, you know, the first front half of the sneakers are curling up. It's like, damn, at least you could wear, you know, listen, I understand that, you know, he has to get donations, he gets, you know, freebies, but at least to put on a pair of sneakers that fit you, man. And something without holes in them, you know. People trying to see his little bunny rubble toes sticking out the side of his sneaker, man. That shit don't look cool, Richard. How you supposed to impress the females with your bummy-looking sneakers like that, Richie? Come on, man. You know what the funniest thing? Hey, see, this is real. This shit really got me laughing. When he first got his Gigger bike, how proud he was, remember? He was bragging. He got himself a helmet, goggles, the whole nine. He thought he was fucking the Red Baron. And then he says he's gonna invite one of the females that work at McDonald's. He's gonna give her a ride. You imagine she comes outside McDonald's and she looks at the Gigger bike. She'd probably think it's a Harley Davidson or a sport bike, you know, a motorcycle. And she's seen that and she goes, nah, I ain't getting on that shit. And being in back of that stink little funky boy, That little funky monkey. Who wants to get in the back seat of a fucking electric scooter with Cracky? Stinking the way he does? Come on, Cracky. You're not impressing no one out here. And then he gets knocked the fuck out and gets the bike stolen. And you know, if I wasn't right, if we weren't right about that, he would be out here. The first thing he would do is be making video games to prove us wrong. Look, they think I got my bike stolen. Look, it's on video games. You notice that? He didn't make any videos proving us wrong about that. When they found him laid out in front of McDonald's because he got his Giger bike stolen because one of the kids, teenager, said, yo, funky man, I want to ride. Nah, I can't do that, dog. This is official, man. I'm a cop, Yeah, you're a cop? I'm a cop of your bike. How's that sound? You can't do that. Hell, crack! Knocked him the fuck out. Next thing you know, Richie was laid out. And, how's it go? Someone told me they seen you. We all know the rest. I mean, come on, you think Richie's gonna put up any kind of resistance, man? You think he's gonna put up any resistance? Just lift your hand and backhand him and he fucking runs like these little chihuahuas, man, they bark and when you kick that motherfucker, like, that's Richie. Richie talk all that shit, alright? Talk reckless, but once you slap him, he's screaming for the police. Richie knows it's true, because if I was wrong, Richie would prove me wrong by putting up a video. Because that's Richie's only way to try to prove any kind of, what's correct in his life. Even though he can never, even all the thousands of video games he made, nothing proves that he's not a junkie. Why didn't he piss in front of his camera? He makes like 25 video games a day. Why didn't he say, look, here's the piss test. I'm going to piss in front of the camera, and we're going to show that he's not a junkie. He can't do that. The same thing, he can't show his gigabyte. What happened to his gigabyte? He claims that he wrapped it around a pole. Now, how in God's name are you going to wrap an electric scooter, electric bike, that does no more than 20 miles an hour, wrap it around a pole, racing on Kings Highway? Listen to the words. He was racing his Giger bike around Kings Highway, and he wrapped it around a pole. You know how stupid that sounds? Then he says he fractured his arm. He was in a hospital for 3 days. Then I tell you, man, this fucking guy got some imagination, man. He should have been a writer, because he could write some fucking stories, man. He could actually put together some stories in his mind. But if he put that shit on paper, man, he might have a bestseller.
So leave his fellows there and...
No, but Elcon, you know what an electric scooter is, right? Those little electric bicycles, they do no more than 20 miles an hour. All right, maybe if you're going down a hill, you might get a little more, but they're restricted to a certain speed. And he says that he crashed and hit a pole racing another person. He wrapped it around. It's crazy, man. It's insanity. When you listen to the words that come out of his mouth, then people still deal with him. I'm like, is it me or what? Or is this people just fucked up and they feel sorry for him? Maybe they had a person that was a junkie in their family, or maybe they knew someone, a close relative or friend. Listen, man, come on. Listen, I don't put down people who are addicted to whatever, because you don't have to be addicted to drugs to have an addiction. You could be addicted to the internet. That's another thing. These people are fucking walking zombies. You know how many people are addicted to their phone?
His only proven displayed addiction is he's addicted to Richie. Just like he said that morning in the morning show. He's more addicted to Richie than his drugs. I can't believe he said that.
Right? It wasn't any other company that was that has that status. All right, Apple, a fucking company that gets most of its profits from the iPhone. Now, what does that tell you, man? How many iPhones are being sold throughout the world? Think about that. Think about how many robots, people that are, their faces is right in that phone. People getting hit by cars, walking into trees, walking into shit because they got their face buried in that phone. Just think about it, man. So addiction is broad. It's not just Richie. It's not, Richie is not only addicted to drugs, he's addicted to black men. But, that's another topic. And this is sad because it doesn't have to be this way. I gave him opportunities to come clean. I told him it's only going to end one way. But fear and common sense got the best of that man. I told him the CVS right over here in Houston. But I even asked, not beg, I asked, and I was going to compensate 2 individuals, Hot Sauce, which is a super local, all right, and Country Rabbit. I said to both of them, listen, just pick them up, man. Like car service, pick them up. I'll give you $200 for your troubles, man. All right, listen, I don't do shit for free. This ain't charity out here. And they were both willing to do it, but Cracky declined because fear and common sense got the best of him. Yeah, he made all kind of excuses. He doesn't want to fight. What was the words he was using? It's his game board, and he sets the rules. I mean, come on, this isn't a game. You see, in his world, life is a game. But he doesn't see the reality, the repercussions of your actions. That's why CB21 was going to put bodily harm on the man. And those words came right from the big man. If it wasn't for the big man saving his funky ass with a $20 bill, a $20 bill saved Richie from being in ICU. Think about that. That's all that little monkey is worth, $20. Shame on you, Cracky. You're making a lot of enemies out here, Cracky. Shame on you.
Yeah, it's cool. I ain't got one.
You're not going to hear a peep out of Cracky. He probably passed out. He can't stay up. I noticed he can't stay awake for too long.
I'm playing on the computer.
He doesn't have the energy.
I got one scooter. It's around 20 miles an hour.
All right, so you know how fast they go. You know how fast an electric scooter goes. They go 20 miles an hour. Now, there's no way, Alcone, there's no way on flat surface. Now, we're not talking about going down a hill. There's no way on a flat surface are you going to wrap a scooter. When I say wrap around the pole, we're talking about it bent in half. Because you would have to be doing 60, 70 miles an hour on a motorcycle for that to happen. Richie claimed that he wrapped his gigabike, his electric scooter around the pole, racing. He was drag racing on an electric scooter. You know how stupid that sounds? I told him that wasn't a Kawasaki, it wasn't a Ninja. It was an electric scooter, you weirdo. And he tried to have people buy that lie. Then he says he was in a hospital with a fractured arm for 3 days. And we know Richie doesn't miss a day on the radio. The only time Richie had some time off is when he got evicted from 194 Utica, when he got kicked out of there. Then he was off the air for a couple of weeks, if not more. I think it was a month, I forget. But, yeah, no way, no one with any kind of common sense will believe that an electric scooter that does 20 miles an hour on a flat surface, you could wrap it around a tree. And racing. Who is he racing? Who's he racing? One of those little scooters that the elderly ride around in? Who is he racing, man? Who could you possibly race on a little electric bike that does, electric scooter that does 20 miles an hour maximum? You know, it's a shame, man. It really is. And I'm not making light of his psychosis, because his mental illness is really something that he needs to address. And that's why people like, yo, why do you waste your time? It's not a waste of time. If I can get one junkie to come clean, I've accomplished something. All right? I do it because I care about people. I don't want to see another human being throw their life away. Because that's all it's about. The dope man don't give a fuck about you, Richie. You're giving that man money to shorten your lifespan. Think about it. Every time you put those drugs in your body, you're making that dope man richer, and it's just fucking up your life even more. Because at the end of the day, the dope man is just like, oh, fuck it, man. As long as I got junkies out there, I got people that are gonna keep my pocket fat. That's how dealers think. They don't give a fuck about you. They're not your friend, Cracky. You know, you got to take that in consideration, Richard, every time you give the dope man that money. All right? And the sad part is, all that money you spend on drugs, just think of what you could have purchased, man. Just think of the beautiful equipment you can have in front of you, Richie. Just think about it, man. All that shit going up your nose, all that shit you're smoking, and it's not even real. What does he call it? Purple haze. We all know that shit's not real weed that he's smoking. That's that matrix shit. That laboratory process shit that you open up and package, what they call it, K2. That's that hallucinative shit, man. Because no one that smokes weed, and I know a few cats, personal friends of mine that are Jamaican, none of them talk like Richie. None of them have crooked eyes like Richie. Why is that?
I smoke weed, I don't talk crazy shit.
I mean, look at Larry the Birdman. All right? That man could smoke you under the fucking table, but his eyes are not crooked. I don't hear Larry talking the astronaut shit that he put a flag on the moon, or that he has 4 badges. He don't talk none of that dumb shit. And you could smoke all fucking day long if you smoke real weed. The shit that Richie's smoking is not weed. I hate to say it, Richard. I don't know what the dope man is selling you, man, but it isn't weed. That I can assure you. Because I have no idea what the fuck you put in your body, man, but it's definitely not weed. So when you show that shit in your video, and you brag about the quality of the weed you smoke, I hate to say it, man. I hate to bust your bubble, but that's not weed you're smoking, man. I don't know. You're better off smoking fucking oregano, man, and fucking dried up grass than the shit that you're smoking.
Come on! Stand up for yourself! Come on, Richie, stand up for yourself! Don't be coward!
I'm laying down, Bert. Smoking ill.
Well, no response. Well, it must be true. Oh, radio.
Your radio's working, brother. Hey, I just try to help out people, man. I try to, listen, you know, I'm not one to step on a man when he's down, but you know, when a man does the shit that Richie does, you see, this is the shit that I don't like. Listen, I don't give a fuck if he smokes 10 pounds of weed a day. That don't affect me. That don't bother me. But when I know for a fact that he's a woman beater, he put a female in a hospital. She was in a coma because she couldn't deal with his bullshit. And Richie couldn't deal with rejection because he's a power freak. He's one of those control freaks. So he beat her with a Cobra 29 into a coma. Damn near dead. And he went to prison for that. That's number one. Number two, the man likes making videos of young teenage girls on stealth. He's a pedophile and comments on their body parts. See, those are 2 strikes that you cannot be forgiven in my eyes. A pedophile and a woman beater. I will not give you a pass on those 2 things. If you want to smoke 20 pounds of fucking weed and blow your lungs out, fine, more power to you, man. And he's a fucking snitch. That's another thing. He's a fucking rat. And he's been known to be a rat. And I'm just surprised they haven't slit his fucking throat or cut his tongue out, because that's what they do to rats.
Yeah, but what aggravates me, they knew they were doing it. Whoever went there and turned it up to where we had to hear it knew he done it too, but they didn't.
Well, I don't know if you got a sister. I don't know if everyone has a mom out here. Everyone has a mom. Now, this cat's out here that are family men, and they have daughters. Now, just think about this, man. Richie beat Debbie into a coma with a Cobra 29. He beat her profusely upside the head with a radio. Then he used to tell her daughter, this is before he beat her up, he used to lock her in the bathroom. All right? I mean, the guy is demented. All right? I could be doing better things right now than be talking the stuff I'm talking. But I'm just letting people know. I'm exposing him for what type of individual he is and why people jump in front of him. This is not about envy or about he has good stuff and I don't. It's not about that. It's about the man is fucked up in the game, mentally and physically. And the wicked deeds that he has done is what I don't like. Like I said, I don't give a fuck how much drugs he puts in his body. But when you beat up a woman like that, all right, and make videos of young teenagers and comment on their body parts, you got assholes still jumping in front of Richie. That's the part it amazes me. And then he used to smoke fucking drugs. He used to smoke crack at 194 Utica with young black teenagers when they should have been in school. They were hanging out in Richie's house. And Richie got video gates of this. This is not shit I'm making up. This is in his own video gates. But never forget when Richie thought like they were going to talk up in his behalf. He's like, hey guys, the guys from the low east side, lower deck, they say, you do drugs to Richie. And you know what they said? Yeah, we do drugs. We do drugs. That's what they said. They said they do drugs to Richie. They get high. And you know what Richie said? Nah, man, don't say that, dog. Don't say that. So you got these young teenagers that should be in school getting high with Richie. A fucking grown-ass man, all right, getting high with young African-American teenagers, all right? And you got these fools out here jumping in front of Richie. That's the shit that is mind-boggling. I don't understand that for the life of me. And that's what this is all about.
He's the subject, please.
Or whatever. Seems like they're pretty good job.
Hey, Jorge, what's up, Jorge? So, you got something to put in? Hey, Georgie. You said change the subject. You want to talk about something? Come on, man.
Change the subject, please.
I like that history, Josh.
I'm very happy, Georgie. Hey, when you coming by the CVS, man? Well, you better let me know by this week, because next week I'm back to work, man. So, it's got to be this week. But it's all good, man. I'll get you a cup of coffee.
15 miles for that stuff.
Come on back.
Another million years of some scuba divers or something be diving on it. So, my God, look at
No, negative. Hell no.
the ancient Mayas or something.
Nah, I really don't care who Richie chills with. That's not the point I'm trying to make. It's the point I'm trying to make is the man does some fucking wicked deeds in his life. And I don't put down people who are drug addicts or alcoholics. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm here exposing a lying junkie, a lying woman beater, a lying pedophile, a person that hung out with racists from other channels and then pretending that he was their friend. See, Richie's the type of guy, if he can use you and get something out of you, he'll pretend to be your buddy. He'll even he'll go as far as work on your radio for free, which he does fucked up work, by the way. There's recently a guy named Tommy from Seagate, Brooklyn. Very disappointed with Richie's work, one of his recent disgruntled customers. I had to laugh, man. But it's all good. Listen, man. We all make a choice in this world, in this life. If you want bullshit radio junkie work, you go to Richie. If you want real radio work, you go to Delta Electronics and you talk to Sam. Sam will hook you up, man. But you know, in life, you get what you pay for, man. That's just the way it is. There's no shortcuts in life. There's no free lunch. You pay cheap, you get garbage. Whether you're buying a radio, whether you're getting work done, you know, you pay cheap, you get cheap labor. That's just the way it is. You want a good job, you gotta pay for it. Anyway, let me go to the kitchen. I'll be back, man. Gotta wash out my coffee mug. They call me Enforcer 250, somewhere on the lower deck, and I just got down.
Coming out here to my house.
All right, my brother. You get home safe and be good out there. They call me Enforcer 250 from the lower. Catch you later.
Hey, you don't have to worry about him washing out that coffee cup. He never stopped to get that second cup of coffee there. And now that all that skip is in the radio, you will not hear him on Channel 19 no more today.
He's way down there in the noise.
You know why? Hey, Larry, because in the morning he can't put his amp on because he has a choice.
I'm across the room sleeping, getting ready to lay down and fall asleep. And I'm listening to the skip roll in and you run away going to sit on 28 hoping I'll start keying up. But I'm asleep for the next couple hours. You might try to get your name called. Try to get people out there that like you. The King.
You see, Cracky, you see the difference with me, Cracky? I got two ACs going.
Richie's in full control, baby. Richie's in full control. Richie's in full control. Let me get back to horizontal across the room there. All the skip is running in, so he's anxious.
Between sweating your ass off or being on the radio constantly with your amplifier on, you know what? There's no option, man. I have everything on. If I need to run an amp and the AC, no problem. Right now I'm barefooted, so I don't need to run no amp. Because we're local talking. But anyway, let me get this mug cleaned out. Let me wash this mug in the kitchen. And, hey, Cracky, unless you got eyes in here, how the fuck you said I didn't have my second mug? Of course I had my second cup of Java, Cracky. Cracky, stop it, man. And defend yourself. You heard Larry. Defend yourself, you little coward.
We got the go fancy.
Nothing to defend myself against.
What's that? I'll be back.
Because they all got rich guys coming in out here. All got a big old badass.
Nothing to defend myself against. Nobody out here worthy of defending myself against. And you didn't shut your mouth long enough to go get a second cup, dude. You've been running your mouth for the whole 48-minute video gate. And in that 48-minute video gate, you told the same story with the same lyrics and the same shit 3 fucking times. The mark of a junkie. Nothing to say except repeating himself over and over, trying to convince his own brain that this is actually true. But Richie's in full control. You have to try to convince this listening public I'm not. Now I'm back across the room. Skip is yelling at me out there, yelling my name, and I ain't even got an amp on. Don't that suck too far, but blah. The King of New York in total control.
mañana todavía. Tengo unos problemitas con la radio como enviándome el comentario. Ya. Estoy escuchando bien. Está bastante cerca, tiene 20 para acá.
Where you come from,
Dando 20 está fuerte. Está tirando 2 watts nada más, dice. Ahora va hacia 9.